Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Beyond Our Reason cast. Guys, today I have something very special for you indeed, because today I have a match with the infamous Wintergaming, the famous StarCraft streamer and player who has recently brought Beyond Our Reason to his rather sizable community, and he has caused the popularity of this game to simply explode. So, man, we are so happy to have all the new players, all the new viewers. Man, it has just been awesome. There's been so much activity on the bar servers and even on my channel with all the new people coming. So, guys, I hope I can express my love for this game, for Total Annihilation, and all the games that have come from it. I've been playing this since 1997, guys. That's a long time. That's 26 years I've been playing this game. And most people didn't even know it existed until basically a couple weeks ago. So that is so awesome to have you all here. I'm so excited and I'm so happy. I'm so glad I can get to cast Winter and show you guys how awesome this game can be. But guys, let's get into this game, because this is an 8v8 on a map called Bismuth Valley, and Bismuth is actually a metal. I think it is. Let me double check here. Bismuth is it is a chemical element with the symbol Bi, and it is the atomic number 83 on the periodic table. It is a post-transition metal, and an element that occurs naturally, and it is a sulfide and oxide form that it is actually used commercially. So that is what this name, or what this map is named after, is this specific kind of metal. Just a fun little fact. And it is a pretty cool map. I've never really casted a game on this map. But yeah, just to give you a little bit of background information about why the map is named that way. But again, it is rather large, and there's tons of metal. So I do believe that we should have a pretty amazing game here in this kind of metal valley. But guys, let me introduce the players real quick before we get into it. This will be the East team, or what I like to call Team Rainbow. There's a nice combination of colors, and here we have Mouse. That's what I'm calling him, the Red Corps Commander. And orange, of course, we have the one and only Wintergaming. Going K-Bot first. Here in what I'm going to call white, we have Diceus. In what is this? Beige or maroon? We have Snapco. And light pink, we have Notorious Nubs. In brown, we have Kriya. In yellow, we have Forged. And bright pink, we have Mater or Mater 2. And I think that will be it for our Eastern team, or for Team Rainbow. And let's go ahead and do our Western team, which I also like to call Team Blue, because there are a million different colors of blue, and it always trips me up and makes it difficult to cast. But I will do my best. I think I call this one teal generally. We have Guapo. In dark green, we have Dr. Aegon. In purple, we have Dim Toast. In bright green, we have Tara Vangian. I think that's what I'm going to call him. And already, guys, so you're probably wondering what the heck just happened. What did you miss, caster? You're horrible. You're a terrible caster. I'm not watching. No, guys, I didn't miss anything. Actually, what happened is this player sacrificed his commander on purpose. He self-destructed. Guys, the commander is worth 2,000 metal. It is literally a strategy to self-destruct your commander. That will give you 2,000 metal. Look, as long as your team has at least one commander, you can stay in the game. So this is not like OTA, where generally, like, when you lose your commander, you're out of the game. So once you lose your commander, you lose everything. In bar, the way it works is all the commanders on the team have to be destroyed in order for the team to lose. And so this player, Snapco, he intentionally destroyed his commander for the 2,000 free metal, which will allow him to progress more quickly. But let me finish these introductions before I get too distracted. Potty Bill, or whatever. He's we're gonna call him light blue. And I think I call this color bad bot neon blue generally. And then Tavion, I think that's how you pronounce it, even though it looks like Teffion or Tafion. I was doing a little research, and I think this is a Welsh name, and I think it is pronounced. The F sounds like a V. I think it's pronounced Tavion, and I apologize if I get that wrong. Tavion is actually the one who submitted the replay, and here in this color green is Zach. So guys, I have introduced the teams. It took me forever. That's why I don't like doing it, but then my viewers will yell at me if I don't. So it is a lose-lose. You can't really win either way. You're gonna get yelled at whether you introduce the players or not. And already there's a lot of battles happening on both sides. A lot of action. It's hard to even know where to watch. But this might be a good place to watch because Diceus already getting pushed back by Bad Bot. And yeah, in trouble. He's definitely getting sieged. A nice combination of both Shell Shockers and Rocketeers. How is he doing that? How does he have both vehicles and K-Bots this early on? I guess he just went into both. But here at the top, there's been some action too. Guys, it'll be hard to follow all this, but I'll do my best, as there's things just kind of happening everywhere. And of course, we want to watch Winter. Keep an eye on our potentially our star player here. But yeah, light pink getting a couple of grunts or AKs if you're from OTA into the back line. And these will do a little bit of economic damage, nothing too devastating to our friend Badbot. But guys, Wintergaming, I have to say, he's made amazing progress in just like the 2 weeks. He's only been playing this for 2 weeks, and he's grown so much as a player in just that short amount of time. I do want to say this: Bar is a very skill-based game, and it does reward players that are intelligent and that can learn quickly and adapt. It is definitely not a game like StarCraft. I'm not trying to shit on StarCraft, but it's not a game like StarCraft where you have to have like a huge APM or, you know, have Korean level micro in order to be good. It really is designed, like in Bar, everything is kind of designed to make it so that skill plays the most important role. And so if you are a good player, if you're an intelligent person, if you can adapt quickly, and no doubt Winter is capable of all of that, you will become good at this game very quickly, because it's really not about your APM. APM does matter. Like I won't say that micro doesn't play a part. It does play a part, but the game is much more about your strategy and how well you execute it. Here we see Winter moving in with quite a few Peewees, pawns. Nice little battle here in the mid, but Blue will have, Tavion will have just enough, I think, to force him off. Nice little engagement between these two players early on. But guys, I don't want to miss action anywhere else. There is so much going on. Ooh, looks like Brown in a bit of trouble, as Purple moving forward with a lot of Centurions. And I have mentioned in previous casts, I think Centurions are criminally underused. Such a powerful T1 option, and as a result, Brown will lose his life to the overwhelming superiority of those warriors. Warriors is what they were called in OTA, but in Bar they're called Centurions. But it's the same thing. It's arms, medium infantry K-bot, and it's incredibly powerful on T1. In fact, some call it like a T1.5 unit, because it's pretty much stronger than most other T1 units. It's of course expensive and kind of slow, but they are very, very powerful, as we just witnessed Brown's commander biting the dust. But yeah, here early on, still very close. It's hard to say which team is really winning. But I will say this, it kind of feels like yellow and pink pushing forward. Nice teamwork there, both working on this this Guardian. And guys, Guardians are very strong early on in the especially in the early game. They have a huge range, and they have a nice AoE as well, and they can kill defensive positions very effectively, and they can also push back groups of units. And so these players, pink, bright pink and yellow, clearly trying to claim a foothold on the top of the map, and they have done so. They've done a good job. But Winter pushing forward again, and this is still very close. Still a very very tense battle between blue and orange here. But Winter building some good defense. He's got 2 LLTs and an HLT. But now another battle happening here at the top, and there are so many factions. It's hard to say who is who even, but generally the blue colors are the one team, and kind of the red, the reddish orange colors are the other. So Tavion moving through with a few pawns here. He might be able to get some economic harassment done. But oh, okay. Purple with these warriors getting into the back line, and oh my gosh, look at this massive army of corpses. This could all be reclaimed or resurrected for a huge amount of money. But as I say that, Zach moving through with a combination of stumpies and warriors. But red having levelers, and guys, levelers or pounders in bar, it's a very strong defensive unit. They are called the riot tank for a reason, and they are they're not the fastest, but they make a great front line. They make a great wall, and now red definitely going to want to reclaim all this to fuel his economy. But pink has made it to T2, and he is already upgrading his eco, and now pumping out welders or Zeus's. But light pink, Notorious Nubs moving in as well with some grunt spam. But I think Bad Bot should be able to hold that off pretty well with this nice army of stouts or stumpies, depending on what game you want to rely on for your naming purposes. But now Mal's with quite a few light artillery. This one already with 5 kills. This one with 8 kills. So these light artillery have been really doing some work. But red's got to be in trouble because Tavion moving through. However, Winter has a nice defensive line here. Is it enough though? I don't see Winter's army. I don't know where it's gone. I think it may have moved it north, or it may have been killed. He's got to keep this Overwatch alive. Shout out to Blizzard for shitty FPSs that no one likes to play, and sequels full of microtransactions. Oh my god, how is he keeping this HLT alive? Winter doing an amazing job with just his commander and this HLT. He's repairing it, but his commander is already so low, 33%. How is Winter doing this? This HLT still alive, holding this position like a goddamn champ. That is freaking crazy. I can't believe that he held that. He didn't have any units at all, but oh, now the bomber's coming in as well. The Western team really picking on Winter. Really, it's sort of unfair, but Winter also has built a ferret, a pop-up missile battery, originally called the Paco, I believe, in the Absolute Annihilation. But anyway, the ferret is a great anti-air defense early on, and Winter has somehow, through a combination of luck and skill, held off that massive push by the Western team. And if they had lost that position, if they had lost Winter's commander, this southern approach may have broken for the Eastern team. So that's pretty incredible that Winter did that. And now red with a nice counterattack. Great use of these mobile artillery. These generally aren't considered that powerful, but red showing us how well they can be utilized. But here in the top, it looks like the Western team has broken through. Brown has totally collapsed, losing his commander early on, and his team doesn't really seem to have done a great job of closing the hole. Or yeah, the Eastern team hasn't really done a great job of defending this opening, and now yellow in so much trouble as he's probably going to lose this fusion. Guys, fusion reactors are expensive. You don't want to lose them, and then when they explode, they have huge AoE. It's gonna take out probably a lot of this base. Yellow, oh my god, yellow is just in so much trouble as this fusion almost certainly not long for this world. There it goes. What a disaster for him. Oh man, that is difficult to watch. As yeah, the Eastern team just not able to close the wound and to stop the bleeding, and the Western team just totally takes advantage of that, decimates yellow's base, and his commander was on the front line, so he couldn't even have a D-gun to protect him. It may not have helped, you know, might have been better that his commander wasn't there, because he probably would have died. So, but either way, yellow and brown are just kind of on their last legs. And this game now looking kind of dire for the Eastern team, even though Winter has done such a great job of defending, and also Red has been doing a great job as well. Now moving forward with a quite a respectable army here of levelers, slashers, and of course Wolverines. But will it matter? Now white moving through. He's got a lot of raiders or brutes. A lot of these heavy tanks, or medium tanks rather, for Cortex. So the Eastern team not out of it yet, but again, they're in trouble. And now Teal with a Tsar. Guys, I can't tell you how many games of Bar I've played where I just early on build one Tsar, one very heavy assault tank. These things are just absolutely devastating. They can kill massive clumps of units. Oh my god, look how much damage. Is he going to kill yellow? No, not quite, but yellow will still die to the withering fire of all of these hounds. And now the Eastern team in even more trouble. How can they stop this bleeding as yellow, bright pink, and brown all have, I think, lost their commanders, and there's just not much left to stop them from simply streaming through the north and causing unbelievable havoc and chaos to the Eastern team's base. And as they lose their starting bases and all their eco, it will just make it harder and harder for them to stay in this game. Man, this is just such a tough situation. These players up here desperately struggling to hang on, but oh, okay, this is amazing. Yellow has decided to resurrect his old base, so he's not going to reclaim this. He's going to try to bring his fusion back to life and his eco as well. So that is certainly one way to try to get back into the game, but again, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I mean, there's just nothing here except for some welders. Of course, welders are nothing to scoff at. This is a very powerful T2 infantry K-bot for ARM, originally called the Zeus, if you are from OTA. A lot of my viewers are from OTA, and they know the OTA names. So, bright pink with a lot of Zeuses, powerful infantry K-bot. Very, very strong at defending, but oh, man, Diceus with no air defense at all. I mean, nothing. And these 2 rapiers may be enough to snipe his commander. That would just be crazy. This is unbelievable. Diceus attempting to cloak to survive. And will this rapier get him? He's at 200 health. He's just super low. He has no air defense. But guys, in the meantime, Brown has brought some of his forces north with a counterattack. And now Bulldogs on the field as well. Call them bar. Bulls. Bull, Bulldog. Choose your name. It's basically the same thing. Arm, heavy tank. Oh man, Bright Green not paying attention. He's just standing in one place. Guys, you have to micro your commander. You can't just let him take free shots like that. And yeah, Bright Green will lose his commander because he's focusing on something else. He was on Facebook. Oh, in the meantime, though, Tavion with some nice bombing. Oh man, just adding insult to injury as the Eastern team was already in so much trouble in the North, but now Blue being even more even more of a bully with all of these bombers and causing the Northeastern team's base to simply evaporate. Guys, he bombed the corpse of that fusion so Yellow could not resurrect it. That was very intentional. And a very nice bombing run by Dark Blue. However, the Eastern team is not out of it yet, as Mal's and Winter are moving through. They are putting on a lot of pressure here in the bottom, the southwest rather. They don't have enough air defense though, as these rapiers or hornets continuing to fly in and really put a lot of pressure on red and orange's attacking force. So they need to build some air defense. Banishers are decent air defense. I'd like to see some flaks if we could, some mobile flaks, or even Mercuries. But ooh, now Winter building an EMP missile launcher. This is interesting. You don't see these too much, but these will launch an EMP missile that will temporarily disable any units or defenses in their explosion radius. But now, a Neon Green here, or Zach, he does have some mines, so you don't see mines too often in bar, but they can be useful in some situations. This is pretty interesting, guys, because the Eastern team, or Team Rainbow, they have been pushing the Western team back at the south side, but in the north, God, I mean, to be honest, I'm not even sure how they're still surviving. I'm not even sure. Well, it is, Light Pink is doing a good job of building massive army of pyros to try to stem the tide of a lot of this harassment and even counterattacking as well. So Light Pink really keeping the Eastern team in this game. But in the meantime, Red, Mal's doing a great job with these Banishers. Guys, the Banisher is kind of a long-range T2 heavy missile tank. And their missiles actually explode in an AoE, so they're good against clumped up units. They're decent against air, and they're kind of the core equivalent to the Penetrator, which is the Tachyon, the mobile Tachyon accelerator. I don't know what that's called in bar, but it's the ARM T2 purple laser vehicle, Tachyon vehicle. We'll probably see one in this game at some point, but yeah, Red doing a great job, and Winter as well, bringing some Fat Boys in. The Fat Boy is a very interesting unit. It is a slow-moving, heavy plasma K-Bot. It is massive. It has a million health. It shoots one giant cannon that explodes in a massive AoE. And it is great against clumps of units, as we'll probably see here. Well, that shot was kind of terrible. And there's so many fighters there that it will die. But either way, the battle raging on so many different fronts. as I think this is Guapo with a couple of Goliaths continuing to apply pressure to the wound, but in the meantime, light blue with a ton of rapiers flying in, some gunships to try to push red and orange back. And really, the Western team doing all they can to stop this push from Winter and Mal's. But really good use of air. Guys, gunships are a great defensive option. A lot of players only use air offensively, like to attack bases. But you can use air to stop these pushes very efficiently, as we're seeing here. This player doing a great job of pushing red and orange back, basically on his own. I mean, he's kind of keeping the Western team from collapsing here in the bottom, the way that the Northern team has sort of collapsed at the top. Yellow doing what he can to reclaim and rebuild his base, but guys, this is all that Yellow has left in the entire world. This is it. This is what's left of Yellow. He's pretty much almost out of the game. It's kind of like one bombing run away from being eliminated completely. And now, Bright Pink moving to T3 potentially. And if he can bring T3 into the game, that might change the fate of the Eastern team at the North. But we'll have to see, because I mean, the Western team could simply kill them. They just don't have that much up here to stop the Western team from just pushing in, perhaps, and winning. Bright Green has a nice army and resurrecting more. Guys, this is a sign of a good player. Good players do bring these res bots onto the field, and they will resurrect entire armies. If you watched the last game, I casted the 1v1. Ziolo won that simply by using res bots to create an entire necromance skeleton army. But I'll hold that thought, because now Teal moving down here with a massive army. Well, the army isn't massive, it's just 4 Czars, but these are so powerful that it might as well be a massive army. Each one of these shooting a huge AoE shell that will kill bases and units with almost no effort at all, with near impunity. And the Eastern team doing what they can to stop this very effective push. But now Bright Green has decided to move forward with his nice resurrected army. And it would be great if they would sandwich. Actually, a sandwich would be good here. But guys, these Czars so great at killing clumps of T1 units. Their AoE shells quite devastating, especially against clumped up groups. And now purple as well with quite a few pounds. But okay, I'm sorry I missed that. But red now continuing to move forward with the help of Winter, though I'm not sure what Winter is doing right now. But yeah, red here at the southwest doing a great job. And oh, here's the unit I was thinking about, the Starlight. I'm not sure I like the name Starlight too much. It's a little bit feels a little bit like a teenage girl's TV show. But anyway, it was originally called the Penetrator. It is the ARM mobile tachyon weapon. And Mal's has taken out a commander, but he's got to be careful. Still not building enough air defense, and his commander could go down here. He's only 1 or 2 shots away from being eliminated by these brawlers. Oh my god, 2% health. Something could breathe on red and kill him, and it looks like Badbot attempting to be the player to do it, but Mal's will just make it out with his life, as red continuing to try to push through here. But Green also doing a push as well and getting behind Winter's main defensive line. This is potentially devastating to Winter. He could lose his entire economic base here. But it does look like they may be able to stop this, but here in the north, quite a few Tsars moving through, but Yellow has brought some T1 gunships in here, and there is no air defense. Guys, it does pay to bring some air defense into your army. 1 or 2 flaks could have stopped this. 1 or 2 mobile flak vehicles is usually enough to stop anything but the heaviest air harassment. So do consider bringing anti-air into your armies unless you want them all to die without getting much accomplished. It is worth the investment. As we see here as well, Red having no air defense, and these Rapiers doing a great job. However, Winter has built some Mercuries in the back. These are a long-range anti-air tower, and they will hit all the way over here. But Red would probably do better to bring some air defense actually with his force. But still not really building any, not building too much. Guys, I can't even really tell you at this point who's winning the game. I can't say. It's still close. Actually, I think I'd still give the Western team the advantage, as they are now on T3 and dim toast with a couple of Razorbacks moving into the fray. Razorback, let's see what it's officially called, the Battle Mech. Razorback is it's really strong at the beginning of the T3 phase. They have these laser Gatling guns, and they're especially good at killing large groups of smaller units, because they, the Gatling guns will shoot very quickly, and they can track as well. But the Razorback is pretty well rounded. It's not really good against air, but they're good in large numbers, and they're a strong early option. They have a decent amount of health as well. So, but again, it hurts to see that the players are not bringing air defense. All it would take is 1 or 2 flaks to really protect these Razorbacks. And yeah, Red doing a great job of continuing to apply pressure in the west. But yeah, it looks like now finally here in the north, I think this is Guapo, bringing in a massive army. He does have some air here, or anti-air rather. He's got some trashers in the mix, but guys, you have to use your units correctly. These need to be behind the Goliath. The Goliaths are supposed to be the tanky front line, and you don't want to put your anti-air in the front. They will die almost immediately. So yeah, nice little battle here in the center between red and green Reapers versus these rocket spider K-bots. And I do think that green has the superior force here, and continuing to resurrect everything in the middle. But the question is, now Bright Pink is on T3, but the question is, can the Eastern team stop this push? That's a lot of Tsars. But again, there's not enough air defense, because sent some of these forward and they no doubt died. He's got to keep these anti-air bots back. And Tsars will do decently even against T3. But again, I just don't know if it's enough. And Dark Green now building a Basilisk or an Intimidator long-range plasma cannon pretty much on the front line. This is very close to the enemy base. But once again, the Eastern team will just barely hold off this force. Unbelievable. How do they keep doing that? Nice combination of air and ground defense, holding off these constant attacks from the Western team. And this game will continue to go on despite the fact that at various points it seemed like the Eastern team was just dead. Simply dead. But yeah, someone on the Eastern team, looks like Yellow, asking his teammates to reclaim this. All this free metal on the ground, you'd be crazy not to take it. In fact, they'd be doing better to not reclaim it, but resurrect all this. Guys, the T1 res K-bots don't cost that much. They're very cheap. You can make them quickly. Already there's one, but I don't know. I'd like to see about 10 to 20. What are these? Lazarus resurrecting all of the units on the battlefield here. That would be quite impressive indeed, as Bright Green has been doing that the whole game. He's got a free Razorback he's brought back to life here. Actually, that might be Dark Green, but yeah, Bright and Dark Green have both been rezzing the center. But, man, guys, there is so much combat happening everywhere. Yeah, the spectators, I think it's... I can't tell if it's this, but anyway, someone's saying, WTF, why are you putting your Intimidator on the front line? It is a weird... It is a weird spot. It's kind of a weird place to put this. It's a little too close, I think. It doesn't need to be that close. They have a pretty good range. Let's see how far... Yeah, see guys, here's the range of the Intimidator. It can hit all the way back here. It doesn't need to be quite that close. It's basically on the front line. But, yeah. A lot of fighting happening all over the map. Neon green and blue doing a good job of holding off red, and of course light blue as well, using the air really well to keep pushing back these constant assaults. Well, let's see, what is Winter doing? He had a close call earlier. He does have a nice economic position, and speaking of economics, looking at the eco at the top right, both teams about dead even. I mean, it doesn't get any closer than this 36 minutes into the game. Despite all of the back and forth that has happened, somehow both teams are almost neck and neck economically. And once again, Guapo pushing in a nice army of Czars. I just don't know if they can stop it this time. I don't see anything up here. Holy frickin' cow. Can the Eastern team stop this push? It looks kind of unstoppable. But however, Yellow moving forward with quite a few fiends. And this Intimidator is exposed, but it will barely survive. Already this thing has 9 kills, so it is a menace. This is definitely a problem. They need to kill this. This Intimidator will slowly demolish their base. But I don't know. It may be that Guapo demolishes the base before the Intimidator even gets the chance. Pink trying to build a Titan, and a Titan would be good. Titans are pretty... It's the strongest T3 K-bot that ARM can build. If you watch my escalation games, the Titan would be the equivalent to the Raptor. Originally it was called the Bantha. It still is called the Bantha in some mods. I think in BA and TA Twilight, it's still called the Bantha. But anyway, it is the equivalent to the Raptor from Escalation. It is ARM's quote-unquote Krogoth. So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to get up in time because Guapo moving in here, and there's just almost nothing to stop this. I have to think that Bright Pink's base is about to get Yeetus, Deletus, and maybe he could even get the Happy Birthday. All he's got to do is kill one of these fusions and create a chain reaction. Bright Pink desperately trying to reclaim the Tsar, but oh no! Oh no, he just needs... This is so pitiful. This is so hard to watch, man. As a Pink's base going up in flames. And also, that Basilisk continuing to hit his base from a long way away, and now, yeah, there goes the Happy Birthday, as Bright Pink's base has basically been You see what I did there? It's basically been destroyed. But here in the bottom, battle continuing to rage. In the middle as well. Guys, I'm sorry I haven't been keeping up with this. There's just been way too much action happening everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere. So I haven't been able to really watch every facet of this battle that is unfolding. I've been trying to keep an eye on the most important parts. But this is pretty important, as Pink is more or less out of the game now. Losing his commander, all he has left is a few solar collectors and maybe a couple defenses. But at this point, Bright Pink probably just going to gift his units to his teammates and leave the game. Because there's just nothing left. He has lost almost everything. And Pink was really one of the things that was keeping the Eastern team afloat for the longest time. But now that he's out, I don't know. Winter's team in some serious trouble here. But a good push here, and Winter has a massive army of snipers or sharpshooters. These are quite effective if microed well. Holy cow, guys. Look at the carnage. Look at the scale of the combat. There's just so much shit. Excuse my language. But what else can you say? There's so much beef happening. But now, purple with a Titan. However, these sharpshooters will be decent against Titans. It's a good counter. I don't think one Titan is going to be quite enough, but hold that thought, because in the northeast, Team Blue continuing to push through. Pink has already been eliminated, and now it looks to be that Brown perhaps will be the next victim to this constant aggression from Teal and Dark Green. This one Tsar could be the rooster in the hen house, the bull in the china closet. Man, they're just desperately trying to hang on here in the northeast as they're just slowly collapsing. There's just not much to keep them in this game at this point. And this is often how these 8v8s go, man. Once one side begins collapsing, the whole team begins to fold like a cheap suit or a house of cards. And right now, the Eastern team is certainly made of the cheapest fabric that you could possibly imagine. These suits couldn't even be sold at thrift stores. But man, despite that, Winter and Diceus and Mal's continuing to hold the mid pretty effectively. I think that was a tactical nuke. It might have been. Yeah, I think that was a tactical nuke. So the battle in mid raging, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if the northeastern approach just continues to get eviscerated. They are holding off, but guys, just look at the map. This is all that is left of the Eastern team. They have lost a huge part of their base. Let me turn down the sound a little bit. My viewers have said they want to hear the game sound, but I don't want to deafen you. You know, let's make it immersive without making it into a tinnitus simulator. But yeah, the Eastern team in so much trouble. And they've attempted to push through the bottom or the southwest so many times, but they've been rebuffed at every angle, at every point. All right, maybe I'll turn the sound up a little bit. It gets louder as the game goes on. You know, as more and more units are firing and exploding, it does get louder. So it's hard to keep the volume levels at the correct point, but. Ooh, these catapults, so disgusting. I've mentioned this in previous casts. These rain of this endless barrage of Hellfire missiles, absolutely eviscerating anything in their path. However, I don't know, the Eastern team mounting a nice defense here. perhaps they will have enough to hold this off. There's quite a few Tsars coming in as well, and of course there is a Titan. But there's a lot of defense here, decent amount of defense, a lot of Sheldons, and a couple of Starlights. To my my Boys fan, if anyone watches the Boys. Got any Starlight fans in the audience? These things are no joke. Whatever you call them, Starlight Penetrator, or absolute monster. They are such a powerful unit at T2, and even decent against T3 as well. Even decent against mechs, as they will even deal significant damage to the Titans. So, man, could the Eastern team have just enough to push back this invading force? Man, it's so close. It's razor thin. The Western team continuing to stream in units, but the Eastern team just having barely enough, just enough to consistently push them back. Nicely placed Annihilator here. The oh, hold that thought, because holy cow, look at all these atomic bombers. Pody Bill or Podgy Bill finally using his aerial might to try and win the game for the Western team. A single good bombing run here could be enough to put the nail in the coffin, the final killing blow that they need to simply eliminate their opponent. But oh my god. Let's see what happens here. Those atomic bombers were definitely misused there. They didn't get anything. And guys, that was... I'm not trying to be cruel, but that was some terrible air control. Basically, the atomic bombers have a reload. So the atomic bombers basically drop nukes. But they have a reload that's about, I don't know, 5-10 seconds. And so you need to make sure that when you're flying over your targets that you're... the bombers are ready to drop their payload. And so what Light Blue did was he had all of his atomic bombers drop their nukes like here, and then by the time they got over the juicy targets, they were not reloaded, they did not have their payload ready, and so they just kind of died. Nothing. They didn't do anything. So that's terrible bomber control, guys. It's almost even worth putting your atomic bombers on hold fire so they don't accidentally drop. You don't want to drop your bombs on nothing. But yeah, that could have been a devastating attack by Light Blue, but in the end it accomplishes almost nothing. But it may not matter because the Western team's still pushing in with Tsars and T3. Despite the fact that the Eastern team doing a good job of pushing back in the middle. But I don't know, man. The Eastern team continuing to collapse here. And now this advanced fusion reactor could be next to fall. If this dies, Brown will basically be out of the game. That is all that is left of Brown's base. And yeah, guys, Eastern team in so much trouble. Winter shooting an EMP missile. Try to paralyze this army. He will paralyze all of these units for about 20 seconds. But, oh, he's going to paralyze them again. But guys, the question is, can they capitalize on it? Ooh, that was freaking nasty. I think that was, it's so hard to tell if it's a tactical nuke or a real nuke. But either way, that was a nice wombo combo. Winter paralyzing, and then perhaps another player firing a nuke. Let me see if I can find the nuke on the screen. Guys, it's so hard to actually keep track of all this stuff. It could have been Winter's nuke, for that matter. I mean, I'm not ruling out the possibility that Winter could have nukes. But yeah, that was really nicely played. Whoever fired the tactical missile or nuke that took out that giant army of fat boys. But yeah, it's the Eastern team isn't out of it, but they're in trouble economically. They're pretty far behind. Team Blue making about 50% more resources, so about 400 more metal per second on Team Blue, and that could be an insurmountable lead or advantage. Just to be that ahead economically. Yeah, I like that there's some player drawing. It's actually some pretty nice artwork. But yeah, just drawing these pictures, telling their team to hold, telling the Western team, you know, it's probably spectators, so they can't even see it, but pretty amusing nonetheless. But now, oh, okay, there is a Krogoth on the field, or a Juggernaut. And a Juggernaut it's basically the strongest unit in the game. So one Juggernaut may be enough to finally push back all of this pressure from Team Blue, but will it be enough? Certainly, it's going to try. 14 kills already. Just acting as a brick wall. It's got over 100,000 health. So much to chew through. But yeah, this is looking pretty dire. Even with this Juggernaut on the field, I just don't know if there's enough defense here to hold off the non-stop pressure. Thor being brought in as well, but there are 2 Titans, some penetrators moving in as well. This is just not looking so great. But Winter has he's come north. He's brought some nice sharpshooters into the mix, and oh my God! But finally, the Eastern team now bringing a Thor over here. And guys, the Thor has an AoE attack and also has an EMP missile. Holy cow, for the first time in the game, the Eastern team could finally be making headway into the southwest corner of the map. They've really got to do some economic damage to Team Blue. They can't let them continue to just be the aggressors. They've got to find a way to take out some of this eco. If the Eastern team could, man, if they could take out some of these fusion farms, it might be enough to get them back into the game. But yeah, right now, obviously they're in trouble as the northeastern approach continuing to collapse. This single Titan, oh no. It's the single Titan could be enough to just take out the rest of Yellow's base. It's already taken out most of the nano towers. Oh no, this single Titan. Such a menace. It's the one fly in the soup. Oh no, oh, poor Yellow is almost out of the game as player after player on the eastern side continuing to fall. And man, I don't know. Even Winter and Mal's also just beginning to crumble under the constant pressure, and I think just the economic advantage that the Western team has is so massive at this point that I don't know if a comeback is possible. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want to count the Eastern team out. I don't want to say that it's impossible at this point. But, ooh, a nice nuke there, though. A nuke will be a good start, taking out all of the army that was here, that was about to perhaps crush Winter's base. But again, guys, I just don't know. If the Eastern team could come back from this position, it would be maybe the greatest comeback ever in a bar game, because they are so far behind. It's hard to even quantify or elaborate how far the Eastern team is behind, because they are It's looking grim. It is looking quite grim. Several players already out of it, really. Brown is technically still in the game, but he's been eliminated. Light pink is already gone. Yellow's basically gone. Oh my god. And this one Titan, again, the fly in the soup. The one menace, you know, the one... this is so frustrating. They've just got to kill this. They cannot let purple take out all of white's base. That would just be so... That would be the end of the game. If white lost his base, I think that would pretty much make it impossible. But this Juggernaut pouring its heart out, putting in all of its heart and soul into this in defense, trying to keep the Team Rainbow in this game, but I don't know if it can. It's just looking so bad for them, even though they continue to impress me with this Alamo-style defense. I just don't know if it's going to matter in the end, because yeah, they're so far behind economically. But it is a valiant defense. It is quite impressive. Very amazing job. And Eastern team has done, especially the southeastern team. It feels like the northeastern team was the weakest link, because Winter and Mal's have been the stars of the show, really. Diceus has been a pretty good player too, so yeah, these players definitely doing their job to carry their team and keep them in the game as long as they have. But yeah, Winter building more EMPs here, and I don't know if that's gonna ultimately save him. But now with Teal bringing his own Juggernaut into the mix, maybe the one advantage the Eastern team had was that they had Juggernauts. But now with this Juggernaut moving in, oh man, I just don't know how they can, I'm just not sure how the Eastern team comes back. They've already lost 4 players, I think, basically. All that's left is light pink, white, orange, and red. Yeah, these battles are so epic. It just takes so long to actually end the game. When the team that you're trying to defeat is playing so well and doing such an admirable job of holding off this pressure, but man, I'm just amazed that they're doing this. And I think yeah, the Eastern team has 3 commanders left here. So 3 commanders remaining. But unfortunately, the Western team has 5, so it would be difficult to snipe 5 commanders. But doing a decent job of actually pushing them back here. The problem is that the Western team is just resurrecting anything Anything on the battlefield that the Eastern team sends in just gets resurrected. Another EMP going down there by Winter. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. So Winter has a nice army here. Quite a considerable force of Titans and Fat Boys. But man, yeah, there's a lot of Titans on the western side as well. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Here in the north, the western team just, or no, this might be the eastern team. They seem to have resurrected a Krogoth there, so it's nice to see both sides using those res bots effectively. And now gunships moving in as well, and as I mentioned earlier in the cast, gunships are a great defense. Very nice option for defending your base in the correct situations. And with that, I don't know. I think Winter's army is probably going to fall. But guys, I will say I don't think it was Winter that was responsible for the Eastern team's demise here. Winter played his heart out. The whole southeastern side doing a very admirable job of holding on and putting on pressure as well. And I think if the North had held, they probably would have broken through eventually. They had the southwestern side on the back foot for sure. I have no doubt that they would have broken through, but guys, the Western team broke through first, and sometimes that's all it takes. And then Winter and Decius had to start sending a lot of their forces north to try to hold that pressure, try to save their allies. But yeah, it is kind of amazing how difficult the Western team is finding it to just end the game. Yeah, these Krogoths, truly harbingers of destruction, truly befitting their name of Juggernaut. Just so powerful against any kind of unit. Their armed cannons firing out these massive shotgun-like shells that can deal with large clumps of units. And then their head being a massive orange tachyon laser for larger targets. And of course missiles on their back as well for taking out buildings and other stationary units. So they are truly forced to be reckoned with. And now White's base likely to be the next victim of the Western team's endless pressure. It's vicious attacks. It seems like finally the Eastern team will fall. There just isn't much left to keep them in the game. There's only 2 commanders left. I think Winter's commander might be one of them. Here he is. He's in the south. But yeah, only 2 commanders left. There's this one Juggernaut, 73 kills, absolute carnage. And now I don't think there's much left to be done, as even the explosion of that Juggernaut will take out a massive part of of Winter's base. And yeah, here's the two final commanders. We have Mao's commander here, and of course Winter's commander here. And yeah, Eastern team finally crumbling under the weight. I'm sure if you were watching Winter's stream, I wasn't actually watching Winter's stream when this game happened. All I know about this game is what I've seen in this replay. But I'm sure Winter on his stream was like, "Come on, you got to hold the north." You know, begging his team to hold the north just a little longer so they could break through here in the southwest, and I really think they would have broken through. Just a tragic game all around. And now the final two commanders here. I have to wonder if Winter might be trying to, thinking about degunning his teammate, going out Romeo and Juliet style. Just take each other out of the world together. End it on a high note. You know, kind of "you'll never take me alive" sort of mentality. Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. I sort of saw that coming. I think Winter self-destructed his own commander or degunned red. But that will be it, guys. That was a really, really good game, and it amazes me how much Winter has improved in just 2 weeks' time of playing this. Again, Bar is designed to really reward players that have good strategy and that learn quickly. So if you want to play this game, it's free. You can download it at any time. You could jump in. We'd love to have you guys. Thank you for supporting my stream. I appreciate all of you and the time that you spend watching my videos. So please like and subscribe if you want to support me. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you on the next cast.